Good evening, guys. It is 6 a.m. on Friday, the 12th of January 2024. I'm the CheapSkateStreamer, and we're broadcasting live today on Telegram at t.me/CheapSkateStreamer, and also actually on YouTube. So we'll have to be careful what's said today. And first things first, let's kick it off. We'll just do a little reminder of the weekly schedule. So here it is. Basically, I start the week on a Sunday evening at 9:30, and then we have a nightly broadcast every day through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and finally Thursday at 9:30 p.m. And then the last broadcast for the week is Friday morning 6 a.m. this one, and from that point then, after Friday at 6 through to Sunday at 9:30 p.m. I have a little break to myself. Call it the weekend, call it what you will, but that's the story with that. I also use a variety of different social media platforms. So if you want to access the content elsewhere apart from wherever you're watching, if you go to the link tree, it's at linktr.ee/CheapSkateStreamer. And when you go to that, you'll see that we've got links there to Telegram, Rumble, X, Kick, DLive, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and an option to buy me a coffee as well. Quite frankly, today everything I'm going to show you is from Twitter. So if you're not currently on Twitter, I would encourage you to have another look at it. I know that when I first came across Twitter, I didn't understand how it worked. I couldn't get my head around the character limit, although I think it was a lot less then than it is now. And this idea that you were going to tweet something just didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But as I say, I find it really good nowadays. It is one of the platforms that I use most often, and it's one of the platforms where I find most often the people that I'm interested in. So as I say, basically just in short, if you're not on Twitter, you're missing out. That's where it's all at, as far as I can see. But look, all those social media platforms are available. I do make a recording of the broadcasts when I remember, which is most of the time, and those are posted subsequently onto the Telegram channel. So that's, as I say, all the broadcasts start there. That's where the recordings are posted, and indeed that's where links to most of the content covered is posted as well. So if you do want to keep up to date, best place to follow or to subscribe, so to speak. It doesn't imply any money, it just means that you're, in fact, it's maybe you maybe join a channel, do you, more so than actually subscribing. Anyway, point being, if you go to t.me/CheapSkateStreamer, that's where it's all at, and you'll not really stand much chance of missing anything if you sign up there. So moving swiftly along, first little thing I have for you is Andrew Bridgen talking about the post office. And as far as I'm aware, Andrew was one of the people who first tried to get this dealt with in Parliament. albeit unsuccessfully at the time, or at least barely successfully. So let's see what he has to say here. Following the sub-postmaster Horizon IT scandal, I asked Penny Mordaunt, God not her again, if she would ensure a Cabinet Office Minister is brought to the House to make a statement and commission a full investigation into Fujitsu operating systems in government departments, and especially look into the systems used by the DWP for child maintenance support and its predecessor. Fujitsu need to be held fully accountable, but the government must also ensure that the Fujitsu systems they still operate are up to scratch, and we don't see a repeat of this cataclysmic miscarriage of justice again. So let's just hear what was said. In fact, let's just let that continue to the end, because there we go. Right. So,
Andrew Bridgen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In the wake of the Post Office Horizon IT scandal, could a minister from the Cabinet Office make a statement and announce an immediate investigation into all Fujitsu IT systems in use by the government and those that have been used historically, to see if there are established whether there are bugs and glitches in these systems? And, Madam Deputy Speaker, I think we need to particularly look at the Child Maintenance Service, which I'm aware used a Fujitsu system until at least 2021.
Well, I thank the honourable gentleman for raising this, and I would refer him to what has been said in Hansard already with regard to the statement in the UQ earlier this week. I shall certainly make sure that both the Post Office Minister, but also the Cabinet Office Minister with oversight of procurement, has heard what he has raised today. Andrew Bridgen.
Actually, I must just quickly post the links to the content for today into the channel, if you just bear with me. A few seconds while I do that. Just so that if anybody does want to go and look it up, they can do that. Right, so this next post, let me just have a look and see what you can see. Yeah, so the next post here is talking about Klaus Schwab. He now admits we're seeing a political revolution against his Great Reset plans. Can I get a hell yes? Whether you want to believe it or not, he's finished. He might still be standing, but he's done. He took his shot, went all in, and he was denied by us. It's always pleasing to hear someone you oppose admit defeat, if that's indeed what he's doing here. Perhaps we're being a bit too optimistic, are we? Let's have a listen and see what he says.
You have this anti-system movement. What we are seeing is a revolution against the system. So fixing the present system is not enough. Now there is, of course, an anti-system which is called libertarianism, which means to tear down everything which creates some kind of influence of government into private lives. It's dismantling the system. You have this
Demantling the system. There you go. You heard it first here. I tell you what, I would love to demantle Klaus Schwab, but that's as far as I'm prepared to go, for legal reasons. So, and I am talking in a metaphorical sense, just for the benefit of the tape. This little one from the Vigilant Fox caught my eye because it talks about a heart failure pandemic in bold. Scientists warning the latest COVID variant could trigger a heart failure pandemic, and there's good reason for that to be shown in quotations. Get this, Pfizer, the same company that sold you the so-called vaccines, is making a big bet on that heart failure pandemic. The talk about insider trading, I mean, that's basically what this is. The pharmaceutical giant recently acquired several companies. This includes a major 6.7 billion cash acquisition of Arena Pharmaceuticals, a firm specializing in developing treatments particularly for heart inflammation conditions like myocarditis and pericarditis. Well, I've got one way to treat, not to treat existing cases of that, but to prevent further cases. But I'm not going to tell you what it is, just in case I get labelled a conspiracy theorist. So, the company that caused the heart damage is now looking to profit from heart damage. Is my analysis wrong here? Well, basically, I came to the same conclusion, as you probably just worked out there. Let's have a little listen and hear this one.
In terms of the latest variant, scientists are sounding a new alarm and warning people that the latest variant of COVID might lead to a global heart failure pandemic. Meaning that if all of a sudden you see people falling left and right due to heart failure, well, it's definitely not what you think it is. It's actually the latest variant of COVID-19. Now, to give you a bit of background here, the latest prevalent strain of COVID to be spreading across the world is called JN1. This new variant has led to an influx of cases in several different countries, including right here in America, the UK, in China, in India, in Australia, and several others as well. And indeed, here in America, this new variant has become the dominant strain. In fact, according to the CDC's tracking of wastewater, quote, JN1, the latest fast-spreading COVID version, is now the most widely circulating disease variant. An offspring of earlier Omicron variants, JN1 accounts for about 62% of current cases, up from 44% 2 weeks ago. That surge is seen domestically as tracked by wastewater levels as well as international travelers and most places around the globe. Now, in terms of the symptoms for this new variant, they are pretty much the same as before, and they just mirror the seasonal flu, including things like sore throat, runny nose, coughing, headache, fever, diarrhea, and so on, things like that. However, as I mentioned at the start of the episode, you now have health experts warning of an increased risk in the chance of potential heart issues for those who catch the new variant. Specifically, this warning came in the form of a report that was issued by Japan's top research institute, and they stated that the ACE2 receptors that the coronavirus clings to within human cells are very common in the heart muscle, meaning that many people who catch the new variant of the virus may suffer from reduced cardiac function. Here's what the report read, quote, even though conclusive clinical evidence that persistent SARS-CoV-2 infection is associated with declined cardiac function has not been reported so far, the proof of concept study of the possibility of SARS-CoV-2 persistent infection of the heart and the potential risk of opportunistic progression of heart failure should be validated by a three-dimensional human cardiac tissue model, which would serve as the alarm bell for a global healthcare risk. And in terms of how this research was actually conducted, quote, the research team first created heart tissue using induced pluripotent stem cells. When a large amount of the virus was made to infect the tissue, cardiac function declined and did not recover. When 10% of the previous amount infected the tissue, a certain level of cardiac function remained, but the infection persisted for 4 weeks. Researchers say it's possible that some patients won't develop heart failure even if the infection persists. Furthermore, when cardiac tissue was placed under hypoxic conditions to reduce cardiac function, uninfected cells recovered after a certain time, but cells that remained infected with a small amount of virus did not recover. It appears that their recovery ability was weakened by persistent infection. A researcher with this Japanese institute also told a publication that, quote, some people infected with coronavirus may have persistent viral infections in their hearts. A testing system and treatment methods must be established in preparation for a heart failure pandemic in which we will see a rapid increase in the number of heart failure patients. Meaning, again, that if we start to see a global heart failure pandemic, well, this report just wants you to know that it's due to the latest strain of COVID and nothing else. But fear not, because using that windfall of cash that Pfizer earned during the actual pandemic, well, they have recently acquired several companies, including a $6.7 billion cash purchase of one company called Arena Pharmaceuticals, which develops, among many other things, treatments for heart inflammation, like myocarditis and pericarditis. And so, if there is indeed a sudden outbreak of a global heart failure pandemic, well, I'm very sure that Pfizer will be able to solve that issue for all of us. And I'm sure that it won't hurt their investment if instead of a normal flu season, we're instead walking right into a myocarditis season.
Well, wasn't that interesting? What do you say about that? I mean, it reminds me on a kid that tells a lie that's blatantly a lie, and then whenever you call them out on it, they tell an even bigger one to try to make the first one credible. That's quite frankly what comes to mind whenever I think about what has been just said there in relation to Pfizer and myocarditis and pericarditis. This next little tweet is from Wide Awake Media. I'm just trying to make sure that it's big enough to see comfortably. There we go. Croatian MEP, and I'm sorry, Mislav, there's not much chance of me pronouncing Kolokusic correctly, but that was an attempt at it. He says he's referring to the WHO. He says it should be declared a terrorist organization. It's more dangerous for humanity than the World Economic Forum. It would be healthier and safer for humanity to sign an agreement with the Colombian drug cartel than to sign an agreement with the World Health Organization. Quite a claim there. But here, let's see it so as you can absolutely say for yourself that you have heard him say this in the event that you wish to refer to it anywhere else. Just trying to get it small enough that the whole thing fits on screen. Right, hopefully this is it now.
I would like shortly to warn people from upcoming danger for humanity. The World Health Organization wants all countries to sign an agreement on handing over the authority to declare a pandemic, procure vaccine and drugs. It would be healthier and safer for humanity to sign agreement with the Colombian drug cartel. They know all about drugs for sure. During the COVID pandemic, World Health Organization only told lies. It should be declared a terroristic organization. They lied that is a new and known virus, that is possible to make an effective vaccine, that the vaccine is 82% effective, that it protects against serious illness and deaths, that all, of course, were foolish and lies. Today, World Health Organization is more dangerous for humanity than World Economic Forum. Thank you.
Okay, so pretty unequivocal there from, was it Milosav? I'm not very sure of his name. So just moving along, the next little one I have is from Alex Mitchell, member of, oh goodness, well, he's a member of quite a few things, I'm sure, but first and foremost, a member of the Vaccine Injured and Bereaved community, somebody I have a lot of time for, a lot of respect for. Alex has done an awful lot to raise the profile of the vaccine injured and bereaved, despite the fact that he lost a good part of his left leg due to the AstraZeneca vaccine, and was also going blind in one eye. In fact, he nearly lost both legs. So, yeah, as you might say, Alex has plenty of reasons not to feel too happy with life as things stand, but he is always pushing forward, pushing for justice, and fighting on. A real member of the resistance, somebody who has stated that to his last breath, pretty much, he will fight, and it's only when proper justice is obtained that he will consider backing down. But up until that point, he is putting all his energy and all his efforts behind the global effort, the global war, basically, that we are engaged in against tyranny and quite frankly governmental bullshit. So from Alex, as you probably have read by now they tell me, now tell me they're safe and effective. Now tell me this is not a global vaccine scandal. Now tell me it's rare. Heartbreaking. And he tags a post there from Nashville Angela. Billed $7.5 million after a free, quote, COVID shot. Tonya Marie Johnston was an administrative assistant for the state of Nevada. Prior to passing away, she was bedridden, unable to walk due to an unexplained illness following the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. Right, this is interesting because not often you hear of a problem with the J&J, but here's one. Her weight dropped to 70 pounds. Her stomach and spleen were removed. She had clots in her legs and lungs, paralysis, vertigo, etc. Goodness, I can see why this is, or why this has caught Alex's attention. After everything he went through, this sounds a lot like a similar case. The minor difference being that Alex was told he should have died, and it's possibly only due to the fact that he was an extremely fit and active scaffolder that he was able to survive. So I'm not sure who it is that's speaking here, but it must be somebody managing her estate, I would imagine. And they say, my family has been billed over $7.5 million in hospital bills. Insurance covered most of the bills, but some weren't covered due to structural guidelines causing family bankruptcy. Look how frail she is. Such a horrible way to leave this world. May she rest in peace. And I second that. Oh my goodness, guys! If you are of a sensitive nature, I hope you haven't already seen the image below. I'm going to put it on screen now in a second. Look at that top right there. She is completely emaciated. In fact, I actually wonder, did she die of starvation? Because that to me looks like a strong possibility from what I can see. So her name was Tonya Marie Johnson. She was from Las Vegas, Nevada. Born in '66, died this year. And if you're in any doubt about how malnourished she was, look at the Look at the size of her upper arm there. She has virtually no muscle tone as far as I can see. This is obviously what she looked like prior to this. I just that's hard to comprehend looking at that. Right, guys, there's a couple of links here, and I would be wrong not to open them. So the first one, obviously, a GoFundMe. Do you know what? I'm going to look at it second, actually, because I'm going to look at the other one first, which I think is the obituary. In memory of Tanya, maybe is the correct pronunciation. Tanya Marie Johnson. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out which bit is which here, because there seems to be a couple of sort of bits to the page. There's a bit on the left and a bit on the right, and I'm just wondering how best to handle this. Let me read the big bit on the left first. I'll blow it up a bit if I can. Okay, that didn't work too well, but not to worry. So this one is from Michael Johnson, who I think. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's made clear further down. My love, I miss you so very much, babe. I am so very lost without you. You were my everything, my whole world. Everything I did in life was for you, and I still can't believe you are gone. It breaks my heart that you're not here with me anymore, but I know you're in a better place and you're not in pain anymore. I know your mom and dad and your brother is with you in heaven, and I know that I will be with you again when it's my time to leave this world. I can't wait to hold you in my arms. So that must be her husband writing there. And then we have this, Tanya's obituary, it's labelled as. Okay, so born April 27th, 66, died August 31st. When I must leave you. When I must leave you for a little while, please do not grieve and shed wild tears and hug your sorrow to you through the years, but start out bravely with a gallant smile, and for my sake and in my name live on and do all things the same. Feed not your loneliness on empty days, but fill each waking hour in useful ways. Reach out your hand in comfort and in cheer, and in turn I will comfort you and hold you near. And never, never be afraid to die, for I am waiting for you in the sky. So I'm not entirely sure who has written that, but that's on her obituary notice. Let's have a little look at the fundraiser. So I assume I don't know actually if this was launched before her death, but it's a GoFundMe page. As you can see, it says at the top, "Blessed to be alive." There's only been $3,105 out of a target of $50,000 raised to date. So it's organised by Michael Johnson, and it's I have to assume that Tanya wrote this before her death. She says, "Hi, my name is Tanya Johnson, and this is my journey. My son will explain more in detail." Okay. My mother is 57 years old and currently has an unknown illness from 2 years ago. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this big enough to read. There we go. So she currently has an unknown illness from 2 years ago after she was required by the state to get the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. At first it affected her equilibrium and she would start falling and then progress to affect her weight. She is 5'9" and weighed 70 pounds. She has blood clots in her legs and lungs. She had to have her complete stomach removed because it was dead. Her spleen was bleeding, so they removed it while in hospital. She had 4 surgeries and died each time, resulting in using the electrical paddles to bring her back. As of now, she is bedridden and will not walk again. Her employer, the state of Nevada, says she cannot receive disability, and Social Security says she didn't pay in the last 2 quarters because the state does not pay Social Security. She is in and out of the hospital and paralysed from the waist down due to her illness. My family has been billed over $7.5 million in hospital bills. Insurance covered most of the bills, but some weren't covered due to structural guidelines causing family bankruptcy. My dad, who's 57 years old and works every day, is trying his best to pay for our entire family. All of it has been stressful. At the age of 16, I switched to an online high school to take care of my mother by myself and deal with school. Our family's prayers have helped him make it through, and she has currently flatlined 4 times throughout her many surgeries. She gets very foggy-headed and has trouble sometimes communicating. She is trying to say what she is thinking but can't seem to get the words out. But she is still here for us, for her legacy to continue. My prayer every day goes to my family and anyone who has to deal with seeing a strong family pillar fall into such suffering. Please help my mom. Thank you. And then we've got this, what looks like an addition at the bottom. Tonya Johnson passed away on the 31st of August this year at 3:20 p.m. She is the love of my life. She was an amazing woman, wife and mother. Tonya was in a tremendous amount of pain the last couple of days, and her fight is over. She will not endure any more pain. I miss her with all my heart and soul, and I will be with her again soon. There are no words for the love that we shared for 18 years. She was my soulmate, and I miss her so deeply. If anyone can help with the funeral expenses, please donate what you can. Anything and everything will be very much appreciated. She truly appreciated all the donations everyone made. Rest in peace, my love. I will always love you and miss you. You were the brightest part of my life, and we will be together again soon. So actually, I mean, there's a little thing there. This is the day that she died, actually. So yeah, just a very short little message there. So as I say, there have been a few. Actually, been 27 donations to that so far, and so far only $3,100 raised. If anybody is minded to contribute to that, I will post the link onto the Telegram channel for the GoFundMe. I've done that, and you'll see Tonya's photo there. It's the one that's above here. I would say, guys, please only give what you can afford. I'm never minded to encourage people to spend more than they can afford, despite the fact that obviously this has thrown this family into turmoil. very, very distressing account there of what happened to one lady, and I just bear with me while I just open a notepad. I'm just going to make a note of that to be added to the YouTube channel as well. I'll do that as soon as the broadcast is finished this morning. Let's share that as well. Did that not go? So $3,100. So just gonna put out a little tweet myself there, just to try to raise the profile of this in any way I can. I think it's important. Let's get it out on Facebook as well. This is the sort of thing I don't mind doing this at all on a live feed, because at the end of the day, this is more important than so many other things that could be happening or could be said. You know, at the end of the day, this although this is one individual, one man's wife, somebody else's mother, etc., that doesn't change the fact that she is just one of so many other people. Her particular case, her particular plight has come to our attention, but there are so many others like her. Where the people themselves and their families just simply haven't made the connection. They don't realise what actually was the cause of what has happened there. Guys, I'm moving along to a post by Eva of Lardingerbroek, basically sharing a story about German farmers, and it's brought to us really by Tucker Carlson. And so Eva says, if you come after the farmers, if you come after the people who produce food, you're not on Team Humanity, and it's hard to disagree with that. Tucker Carlson says the biggest protests in modern German history. What's happening? Eva of Lardingerbroek is there. So let's have a little watch of this.
It doesn't give you much confidence in the American media that huge events can happen in foreign countries, not even that far away, say in Europe. Big events, mass movements that will change the course of history. And pretty much no one in the United States has any idea that any of it is happening, much less why. Something like that is happening right now in Germany, the most powerful country in Europe, our key NATO ally. Farmers there have blocked roads across the country. These are massive protests. If they were happening here, a lot of the United States would shut down. But because they're happening there, most people have no idea that it's going on. Why is it going on exactly? Well, Eva Vlardingerbroek is there. She's been traveling across Germany with the farmers, and she joins us now for an update on what she is seeing. Eva, thanks so much for joining us. Can you describe what's happening and then tell us why you think it is?
Hi, Tucker. Yes. Well, thank you for having me because what you said is correct. A lot of media are absolutely ignoring the massive protests that are going on right now in Germany. As you know, I'm from the Netherlands, and we are neighboring countries to Germany, and I've been very involved in the protests of the farmers over in my home country. And when I heard that the German farmers were going out to protest, I thought to myself, I need to be there. The reason the German farmers are protesting right now is actually because a decision by the German government sparked a lot of anger. The German government has decided to basically eliminate a tax break on agricultural diesel. And that's not just, the only thing that they've done in the past few years to attack and basically harass the German farmers. The German farmers are subjected, just like the Dutch farmers and a lot of farmers around the Western world, to all sorts of new regulations and restrictions all of the time. And quite frankly, they feel unheard, they feel unwanted, they feel like they are being harassed off of their land, basically. And they are sick and tired of feeling like they have no right to exist. And so the German farmers have announced huge protests, and those have started on Monday with massive roadblocks nationwide. And this is a protest that we haven't seen in this type of magnitude in Germany ever before. They feel that they are being ruled by people who hate them. And I think that they're right. The establishment in Germany seems to hate everything that the farmers, the blue-collar workers, the ordinary German citizens stand for. And that's why these protests are so massively important.
Okay, so there you go. There's not really an awful lot to say about that. The censorship agenda continues apace, and as we see there, the protest by the German farmers is basically being suppressed in the mainstream media. It's interesting that it's no longer really possible for them to suppress the information in the new media. We will always find ways to get the word out, whether via Telegram or indeed other channels. And legacy media now is it's irrelevant. It's so so censored. So you know that as soon as you turn on the TV or you turn on the radio, what you're going to hear is a government line. It's just not. It's not something that you listen to and expect to hear the truth anymore, and I'm sad to say that, but quite frankly, that's the case. All I hope to hear when I turn on a TV or a radio these days is some acceptable narrative of some story that doesn't show the government in too much of a poor light, or indeed, if it does, it serves as a distraction from whatever else is going on. For instance, the post office saga at the minute, I think, is serving the mainstream as a useful distraction to divert attention away from the COVID inquiry, which actually I believe has been put on hold. I don't know the detail. I haven't looked into it, but I have seen a mention a couple of places suggesting that the COVID inquiry has been put on hold. Guys, I've got a little post here which I think is going to close us out for this morning. It's from Shelley, and she says, "Today is my 3rd year anniversary, life-changing nightmare Pfizer vaccine injured 3 years ago today. I have no words today. I'm just very upset, thinking of what is going to come of me medically, for my future, and where do I go from here?" January the 11th at 7:22 a.m. I got my 2nd dose of Pfizer and my nightmare began. Let's have a listen to what Shelley has to say.
Hi. Today is a little bit difficult for me. Today is the 3rd year I have been hurt by Pfizer. On January 11th, 2021, at 7:22 a.m. in the morning, I took my 2nd dose of Pfizer. 40 minutes later, I had become sick, flu-like symptoms.
I don't know if there's censorship going on or if I've just got a little internet glitch or what, but basically that video was starting to skip all over the place. I'm going to try it again. I'm not going to be defeated that easily. Let's have another listen from the top. Wow, this is hard to believe, guys. I feel as though we're looking at a degree of censorship. I'm not too sure if that really is the case, but I've got a circle going around and around. As far as I can see, the stream is good. It suggests that the internet speed is okay. Let's just run a quick speed test. That's the only other thing I can think to do that might give us some clue as to what is going on. But I mean, if this runs okay, that suggests to me that there is somebody, something fucking about with the video that I was trying to play there from Shelley. So this is speedtest.net. And even with a live stream running, I'm getting 32 megabits per second and counting on download and on upload. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Now normally my upload is about 18, 19 megabits per second, so I'm not surprised to see it sitting at about 12, given the fact that I have a live broadcast running concurrently. Guys, I've got a good connection. There's no good reason that I can see for this video not to be playing, other than that there is some hocus pocus taking place in the background. let's give it another try. If it does work, I'll just mute myself and let it continue, because I'm just concerned about trying to get the video out there.
Hi. Today is a little bit difficult for me. Today is the third year I have been hurt by Pfizer. On January 11th, 2021, at 7:22 a.m. in the morning, I took my second dose of Pfizer. 40 minutes later, I had become sick, flu-like symptoms. The next day, unable to walk, inflammation, and pain. Since then, I have been going to the doctors, in-state, out-of-state, miles away, because no one will see me. And I went from being athletic to where I am today. Still looking for answers. Having a hard time today because it's taken 3 years of my life, and when it took it, I was on the top of my game and living the best life. Now I'm searching for answers, looking for help, speaking out. It's a lot to deal with today. So anyway, I hope you're having a good day. Not a great happy anniversary for me. 3 years, Pfizer vaccine injured. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, I'm glad we were able to actually see what Shelley had to say after all that buffering and goodness knows whatever else was going on there. Yeah, I always think it's difficult to know what to say to people in Shelley's position, because at the end of the day, it's not her fault. She did what she was advised to do by the government, by health officials, by so-called experts, and you know, it's I personally don't know the details of how she was affected, other than what she has described in the video there, but you can hear by the tone of her voice, and see even by the expressions on her face when she is thinking back, and the very fact that, you know, she is able to recall not just the date, but the time that she got the jab, just goes to show the extent of the trauma that she has suffered, and the way that you know, if she could take that minute back again, I'm sure she would love to do that. You know, take that minute back and just say, do you know what? I think I'll hold. I'll maybe go away and think about this some more. Maybe I'll choose to take it some other time. Thanks, but no thanks. Guys, if you want to give Shelley a follow, it's at MICHELL 874-63246, or indeed,
Hi.
sorry Shelley,
Today,
didn't mean to start you again. Or indeed, as I say, I have posted the links to all the content in this broadcast on the Telegram channel, so you could hop on there, t.me/CheapSkateStreamer. And if you follow the link there, you can get to Shelley's Twitter feed and just leave her a little message of support. That's what I'm going to do very shortly after I conclude the broadcast this morning, which is what I'm doing now basically. So I'm going to leave Shelley a little message. I'm going to post the link for the GoFundMe for that family who are struggling with medical debt after the that lady's death. And yeah, that'll be the end of the broadcast for today. Next broadcast Sunday evening at 9:30 on Telegram. So t.me/CheapSkateStreamer. And yeah, if you're free on Sunday, please consider coming along. It's a bit of a strange time, I suppose, for most people. It just happens to be whenever I'm typically free. So Sunday evening at 9:30, that's the first broadcast of 5 next week. And yeah, we'll take it on from there, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and hope to see you Sunday.